Hello, Bots and Books fans. This is Scorp1701, and tonight we're going to be transitioning from the X-Men Blue team to the X-Men Gold team, and I thought the best way to do that was to review a man who was on neither team but responsible for them all, and that would be the Marvel Legends Deluxe X-Men Professor X. And this is a huge figure. Well, the figure itself is not that huge, but the box is pretty big because, you know, he has his little hover chair in there, and you can see it covers most of my review space here, and it looks really great. You got the Marvel Legends symbol right up there at the top, the logo. You see Professor X and his chair in the box. Huge X-Men logo. I think I'm going to take that and do something special with it. Got the 80-year logo there. You have warnings, Hasbro. On the side of the box, you have Professor X in his chair. On the back of the box, you have Professor X in his chair, and a image of the Deadpool scooter that are whatever it was, the Vespa, whatever he rode there. And you have a couple more product shots here on the right, some credits for the box on the bottom. On the top, you just got a big X-Men symbol. You have Professor X again on the side, and on the bottom you just have some words and credits for the box. Nothing too impressive. So anyway, that is Professor X in the box. No one wants to see him in the box. I know I don't. So let's get him out and see what he can do. Now, before we get to Professor X and his accessories, I just wanted to take a look at the inset in the box. I normally don't do this, but this is really cool. This is what the background in the box was. You have an actual image of the Fox cartoon with all the X-Men there and Professor X. That's pretty neat. So it looks like they're basically wanting to go with the animated series for this type of figure, but it works for the comic version as well. Alright, moving on. And here we have Professor X out of the box. So, in the box you had Professor X himself. I have him over here sitting on a turntable. I was going to put him on the ground, like reaching for help, like, help me! But, you know, I thought that would be disrespectful. Good idea, bub. No one disrespects the man. Oh, okay, Wolverine, go away. Anyway, we have the parts to his chair here, and we have some accessories for the character himself and other characters. So we're going to take a look at those first. We have a nice alternate head, and what this alternate head is for, it's not for Professor X himself. It is for the Wilson Fisk Build-A-Figure, the Kingpin Build-A-Figure that put out in other waves. And what this is the actual Shadow King head. And you could pop that on. He has little glasses, nice evil teeth there. So if you want a Shadow King and you have a Kingpin figure, you can pop this and use this. I do not, so I'm not going to be using it. Anyway, okay, also in the box we have the Cerebro helmet. It's nice gunmetal gray, has some good detailing, little tubes and stuff that you can put on Charles's head, and see this little hole here. So we actually have an accessory for the accessory. You have this nice shiny pearlescent effect, and this is nice. This is has some details on the back, very interesting. And what this does is it plugs into the back of the Cerebro helmet into that little spot. And you could have him have it, you know, doing some cool little effect here. So we'll get it on Professor X in a minute. So anyway, so that's it for his accessories. Now let's take a quick look at his chair. Okay, taking a look at Professor X's chair, there is a little bit of assembly required, as you can see, but it's fairly simple. So all you gotta do is take these nice gold yellowish pieces, and they got little clips on the sides here, and little pegs, ports here, and you just slide them in there like that. That's pretty nice and easy. And then you have the back of his chair, which is here, and you can see it has a little tab here at the top, and there's a little port there at the top, and it just slides in here and clicks in there. So yeah, there you go. Now normally, if this is all you really need, because you're not going to be able to see anything else, and that's really all they could have given us. but they did not. You see there's another little hole there that we can cover up with this little seat pad, and that can go in there like so. Like, hang on, like so, like so. And there you got his seat in there. That is nice. And again, another little accessory they didn't have to include. They have this little blanket. So when Professor X is in there, you can just sit that right there and it will cover his legs, and we'll show that off in a minute. But we are not done yet. No, there is still yet one more accessory to attach to this chair. And on the bottom, you'll see this big hole. Now it can sit like this. So that's perfect, nice. You don't have to do anything else with it, but they've included a blast effect, which will give it that neat little hover effect. So there it is. It's nice plastic and white, painted white. Has a little port tab here that will just go right into here, and that will actually complete the chair. So that's actually pretty nice looking. Like, so you go around. Okay. So, taking a look at the chair, it's nice gold swirly plastic. I believe there might be a little bit of gold fleck in there. Yeah, looks like, could be. But the chair has kind of little accessories on the side here, little panels. If you move this across, you can see he has a little keyboard in there with a little mouse thing. Could be danger room controls, I don't know, a little computer. You can check his email while he's on a mission or something, I don't know. And same over here, this side will open and you will reveal a control panel in there with a little screen and some, looks like an intercom, and some buttons are made out, picked out in red. Let's get a little closer to that. Come on, focus. There you go. Some nice little buttons and switches, and we'll open this one up so you can get a closer look. So yeah, that's pretty neat. And yeah, so that is his chair. So, and here we have Professor X himself, and he is just a regular guy figure. Nothing too outrageous about him. He comes in a green suit, white shirt, has a black and blue striped tie. He does have a belt down here. We'll get a little closer here. See, a nice black with silver buckle, and more green pants, and he comes down to having some brown shoes. So, in the back, it's very much the same. Nice detail. Not much you can do with just a suit. He has a nice profile. I like that. I like the eyes. They're very sharp, and has a very stern, serious look on his face. So that's pretty nice. Everything you'd need out of a Professor X figure. Alright, so yeah. That's a good job on the sculpted paint. And for articulation, his head can look down. It can look up a lot. It's on a hinge there. You can see it can go all the way around if he wants to be possessed by somebody other than the Shadow King, maybe the Exorcist, who knows. Anyway, his arm can go all the way around. He has a bicep swivel, goes here, and he has a double elbow joint that can go all the way up here, but it feels a little weak there, so be very careful. Don't want to break it off. Plastic feels a little flimsy. Hand can go all the way around, and it can go up and down, so that's nice. He does have a ab crunch here that you can see the joint there, but it the coat kind of hinders it a little bit, but you can still get him down to go, and stuff like that, and he can go forward, not as much back again because the coat. He has a waist swivel. He can go all the way around, but that wouldn't work because he has a spine. And he has leg joints that go all the way up like that, and goes back a little bit, but again, coat and butt hinder his movement there. He has a thigh rotation, goes all the way around, double knee joint. Again, these plastics, I don't know, they feel kind of light to me, so I don't really want to always mess with that. Actually, this feels a little sturdier than the elbows. The elbows feel like they're gonna fall off, and anyway, he has a feet pivot that could go up a little bit, and it can go, well, it can't go down a lot, but and you don't have any rotation there. You might get, yeah, it can rock a little bit there, and then if you do that, you might be able to rock it. But anyway, that is it for his articulation. The thing, his tie can flop up and down, and his coat is a little bit malleable, that soft plastic, so it can move a little bit. And you can look underneath here, and you can see the shirt goes all the way up. So anyway, that is it for his articulation. Okay, getting Professor X in his chair isn't so bad. I found, you don't have to bend the legs to put him in there. You could just do it like have his legs straight, but on his diaphragm, you kind of want to put it back a click, because if you put it like regular, he might look like he's just trying to hunch into the chair. So if you click this from its normal, this is the standard straight up and down, but if you click it back just one click and you put him in here, it looks like he's got his back on the chair base. Get in there. Get in there. Okay, there we go. So, and then he's kind of looking straight up, and that looks very nice. So there Professor X is in his chair. He's got this evil, get him. So I like that. So that's pretty neat. So we'll take a look at what he looks like all the way around. That's pretty nifty right there. So cool. All right. And once you get Professor X in his chair, what you'll do is you take in this blanket, and it will fit right over here, over his little lap section. Move, Chuck. Trying to keep you warm, okay, buddy? And it will fit right there. And now he has a blanket so his legs can stay nice and cozy. Yeah, nice and cozy. Thank you. I enjoy being cozy. Moving on. And this is what Professor X looks like if he's working on his control panels, and both of them are open. He can't really reach it, well, but, you can kind of, X-Men, do this, and this is kind of a specific hand mold, so, you can try to get the buttons in there, but you can't go back. It's just, you can kind of set it. His head can look at the things, so go over here, click, 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 but yeah, still, it's kind of not a good fit to get him to actually use the buttons. But, if you do it like this, got it, like that, so that's kind of good. Alright, anyway, those are his chair buttons. And here Professor X is using the Cerebro. I know there are mutants out there. Mutants! So, yeah, and then we'll add the little effect on the back of his head. It will fit in right there. Boy, this thing is really smoking. Cerebro. No, okay, that's it. And for comparison, here Professor X is with his blue team. And I just love these guys. This is really a great shot. Has everybody I love in there. Most of the cartoon cast too, but we'll look at that later. So anyway, there we go for comparison. And this has been the Marvel Legends X-Men Deluxe Professor X. And I'm so happy to have this figure in my collection. I couldn't find him anywhere on the shelves. You'd always see the Deadpool and his scooter, but I never once saw Professor X on the shelf, so I resorted to buying him from Walmart.com. They had him at a really good price too. I think I paid like $35, $36, maybe $40 with shipping. So yeah, if you're going to do an X-Men collection, especially around the 90s, when you got your Jim Lee, you're going to definitely need this guy. And I'm glad they included the hover chair, because, there really wasn't a lot you could do with him, because he's just a normal, regular guy. But put the chair in there, give him some accessories, and I think you got a great addition to your X-Men collection. Alright, well, that's the figure. Hope you guys have enjoyed the review. Have a great night, and I'll catch you later.